Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Today, we're sitting down with a gentleman who is breaking so many records and is killing the game. We have with us today Mr. Donald Variste, aka Donald Variste. How are you doing today, Donald?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's good sitting down with you. I mean, you're doing big things, so we definitely have to take the time to see what's going on with you, right?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me, Cindy.
You're welcome. And Variste is French, right?
Yes, French.
So that means that you are Haitian American?
I'm Haitian American.
Okay.
Comme nous les Haïtiens.
All right. We got to throw that in there. It's all good. I'm Haitian American as well, so we got to represent for a second, right?
Yes, definitely represent.
Okay, but today the reason that we're sitting here, this is not the first time that we bumped into each other, right?
Yes.
But we're covering Church Hurts.
Church, the stage play.
The stage play.
The hit stage play.
Hit stage play. We have to put that in there. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for coming too, because you did came to the show.
I did.
Yes.
Oh my good. See, I don't even want to get into that yet because I don't want to take up majority of the video.
Yes.
I laughed. I cried. I was angry. Such a great job. But first, let's find out about you. Get more into you, the person, the writer, the playwright, the director, Donald Variste. But before we begin, we're going to go back a little bit because you're not just, someone who has a talent and figured it out later on. You've kind of been a superstar from the beginning.
Wow,
no, you have. Wow. If we look at your history, where are you from originally?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Miami,
Florida.
Okay, so a lot of Caribbean folks down there.
It's like a mixed.
It's a mixture. I sometimes call it a tropical New York because you have everything down there. It's absolutely beautiful. How was growing up in Miami? Nice?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was a lot of obstacles, growing up, with my mom transitioning to the United States.
Right.
And of course, I watched her went from the struggle to eventually not going from the struggle. And that inspired me, as the youngest one, I should say, to always go for the best and to do the best.
Wow, I love that, and I love your family story, and I think that's what the American dream also encompasses. So it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
But other than that, along the way, you were a part of the 5,000 role models.
Yes, the 5,000 role model. Right now, she's the congresswoman now.
Okay.
But at the time, she was a senator. So I was one of the ones that was under the 5,000 role models.
And when we say she, who are we talking about?
Frederica Wilson.
Okay.
I should say Congresswoman Frederica Wilson.
Yes, sir. Because she's up there now. And I love that because I think about the red ties.
Yes.
When you see the little boys in the red ties, it blows my mind away.
Yes.
And you also were recognized by, is it Miami Times?
Miami Times as Gentleman of the Week.
Gentleman of the Week.
Yes.
Okay, so in Miami, you were Gentleman of the Week. How do you get that title?
Actually, I was doing a lot of things in the community. So I was doing like fundraisers. I was doing plays.
Yeah.
I don't want to say plays, but I would say concerts at the time.
Okay.
It was just more fundraising for the school. Protests.
Right.
I organized a lot of different protests, so I was pretty much a lot in the public eye.
Right.
Dealing with the radio stations down in Miami and everything. So from there, they just went ahead and selected me and recognized me as Gentleman of the Week in Miami.
Congratulations to you, Donald.
Thank
That's why I say you are a superstar from the jump, from the beginning. I know you don't like to, because you're humble, but it's true. We got to put that out there. So later on, I guess you migrate to Central Florida, right? And how do you decide that I'm going to write plays? It's such a different industry,
It is.
It's so special and intricate. How did you decide to get into it?
Well, I never would have thought in a million years that I would be a playwright.
Right.
So I always had the creativity, of writing things, and it was very creative. So, when the teachers, when we was getting prepared for the FCAT, they would have us write in our journals so they can read to make sure that our writing style was a little bit better. And so when I would make up these stories, and then they would be laughing, saying, "Did you actually really write this? Like, where did this come from? You have a gift." But I never took heed to it until I moved to Orlando. So when I moved to Orlando, I was attending a particular church at the time.
Okay.
And so they never had a Christmas production. And from there, I was like, you know what, I want to go ahead and do a Christmas production because it wasn't nothing going on. And so I was like, okay, I've been here for a couple of years, and I haven't seen the Christmas production. And so it just felt in my spirit to go ahead and write. And so I went and write. I wasn't too sure which direction I was going because I didn't know the proper format of writing a play, but I knew that I can actually write the dialogue of the characters. And so from there, I went ahead and I spoke to another young lady, Jessica Coleman, and she kind of had a little bit more experience with it. And so I went ahead and wrote it, and then she came in, and pretty much she was a co-writer at the time as well. And so that's what we did. We actually did the audition, and she wasn't too sure of the directing part of it, but with me, I was like, okay, everybody say, what should I do? And these were things that I wasn't considering. And then from there, I was like, oh, you should do this. The grandma do this. The granddad do this. So I started teaching them how to act the different roles. And I did not know I was actually directing the show. I was just doing it because I felt like I wrote it. I feel like every writer is supposed to know how to direct, the characters, but that was not the case. Not every writer know how to direct or teach another actor how to act. And so I was able to get into these different characters, not understanding that I had all these multiple gifts in me. And so that's basically how it all started, with that one play, The Reason for the Season. And a lot of people, got saved. It was so many young people that was actually crying to me saying, what you put in that story, that was me, and all of these different things. And from there, I was like, wow, this is for real. This is not a play. It's serious.
Exactly. I mean, it's an art form, and you're truly touching people, and that's what it's meant to do. So, again, congratulations to you. It just means that you're doing your job, and of course, you can wear all those hats because you have the talent too. And I love that. I love when. I mean, of course, you can go out and get the education or get the experience to do something, but for some people, it's natural. And seeing your play, Donald, I have to say, it is natural because it's seamless. So, Church Hurts, give us the concept behind the name. How did you come up with that?
Oh, Church Hurts.
We're going to go there.
That's a good story. I mean, that's a good question, I should say. Church Hurts is, to make a long story short, I mean, it's a journey to it. It didn't happen overnight. Like I said, I was going to a certain church, and from there, when I started to go more into trying to actually work more towards the gift, and I noticed that it was a lot of different things behind the scenes that I noticed in the church. I was one of the ones that go to church, I sit in the back, and when the church is gone, I'm gone. Nobody know who I am. I would just go get the word, I'm out. So when I started to get more involved behind the scenes of the church, then I noticed some things. And from there, I experienced some church hurts myself, and I left the church. I was like, forget that, I don't need the church, and I left. And then I started to visit different churches. And then it was this crazy, other things that I noticed. I don't know, it's because God was opening my eyes and the stuff that I was seeing. And finally, I started to say, you know what, I want to write something. So I started to write. Then I went to one particular church, and then the pastor noticed that I had a gift, and I had a play called "What You Don't Know Won't Hurt You" at the time. And which I would still do that play, I would still do it. So during that process, the pastor was like, I hear everything that you're telling me. You're telling me all these different. You're telling me about the hurts of the different church that you went to. Maybe God is telling you to write about church hurts.
Wow.
And then from there, I was like, oh my God, like this is it. This is what I need to be writing about. And so I wrote it the first time, and then people was like, you're bashing the church. Because I was coming out of a emotional standpoint. It was my personal feelings, and it was like, no, this is not going to work.
Because you don't want to push people away.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be more of a testimony, more of an experience.
More experience. Yes.
So did you alter it, or?
I had to. I had to because it was not about me. It was more about the people. Because I was going through the situation, but it was more of a ministry for the people. And so what I did was, something told me to go ahead and start interviewing different people to get their experiences.
Wow.
And once I was able to get everybody's story, then I was able to put everything together, and then that's where it became what it is today, the church hurt story that you see on stage. It's just different people testimonies, and then I was able to create these characters based on different
Right. And I know we're sitting here, and the people who haven't seen it, oh my goodness, you have to go and see it. But you cover everything. I'm not going to give it away.
Yes.
But you touch on some things that we actually don't even like to talk about. You know what I mean? And you do it. You make it. It's jovial. It's accepting. You don't feel like you're bashing the church. So I guess you did a real good job and, kind of polishing that, because I didn't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not going back to church. I felt like this is it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Yes, it's something that I experienced, but don't allow your relationship with God to be, deterred, or that path to be deterred just because of your.
Yes, and that's why the subtitle of Church Hurts, because I knew a lot of people was gonna be like, Church Hurts, and they're gonna shut it down. I already knew that already. That's how you know when God gives you something, because people may not gravitate to it right away. And sometimes you got to be out the box. And so when I did Church Hurts, I'm like, okay, I was driving one day, and then it came to me, the subtitle, there's no perfect church, but there's one perfect God.
Wow.
And so that pretty much nailed the whole entire title of Church Hurts. Because a lot of the time we go to church and we expect for these people to be perfect, the pastor's supposed to be perfect. And so when these people do hurt you, we forget that they're human beings just like us, and they're in the flesh as well, and they're not perfect. So and that's what's my problem. So when I look at a leader, I'm like, oh, why they talking to me this kind of way? Why they're telling me this kind of stuff? And I was noticing that it wasn't them. It was all about what God was saying. So that's what it comes in, and so that's why it was easier for me to do a story like that, because I know it's real. And I know it's people that need to listen to these stories, because it's somebody out there that can fit the shoes of one of those characters on that stage.
Right. And I myself, personally, I always call you our Tyler Perry. Yeah. Because it's so, the movie, the play has such an important storyline, and it's just comedic. It's hilarious. It's like almost Tyler Perry level, and I believe you can go even beyond that. So give us a little bit of insight into the actual characters without giving away too much. But you have some amazing characters in this play. Tell us about that.
Well, I have Mime. Mime is the grandmother,
yes.
and she is hilarious. She is very, very crazy, and of course, she's a comical character, but at the same time, she has wisdom. So she has a balance to her, and so of course, she's going to be the comical character that's going to bring the fun to it, and also have a little bit of wisdom. Chanel is the mistress. The one she's living a double life. She's with the bishop, and she's with her husband, and it's an actual how should I say it? Like it's a bond. It's some kind of spiritual attachment between her and this bishop, and he has the power and the control and the money, and he know how to control her per se. And then of course you have the different three characters, the sisters I call them, and pretty much with them is like they have their own little stories. You have one that may have an abortion situation where she had to have an abortion because of her being a minister and everything like that. And then of course you have another character that's dealing with homosexuality and how he dealing with the church and how the church look at it, whatever the case may be. And a person who's actually been delivered, but at the same time it doesn't matter, he's still being judged for his past history. And then you have another character, the bishop itself, and he's pretty much arrogant. He's arrogant. He has ego. He pretty much feel like he is Jehovah. That's how he feels. He feels like if it's not because of him, it won't be a church. So he feel like he don't think it's God. He feel like he operating it. And that's just pretty much kind of summarizes some of the characters. For the most part. Then you have the husband, which is Robert Banks.
Oh, poor Robert. Poor Robert. I was like, oh man, Robert. But I love him too. Great character.
Yeah, and Robert, what he shows a guy who's actually trying to do everything. And a lot of guys who's actually can fit his shoes, they try to do everything. They try to listen to their bishop. They trying to listen to the leader. They want to be the best men of God that they want to be.
Kind of like people pleasers.
Yes, people pleaser. There you go. Like that's how he is. And at the same time, he don't know that he's being burned by the same person that he looks up to. And of course, that's an affair with his wife.
Exactly.
The whole time.
Oh my goodness.
It's just a lot of scandalous going on.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is better than the Empire scandal. All of those combined. I was entertained from the beginning to the end. The end left me wanting even more. Okay, so now this isn't the first show that you've had, right?
No, this is not my first show.
Okay.
My first show was in Stanford, and that was sold out. I think
sold out.
I was impressed by it. I wasn't expecting that at all because the ticket sales was kind of shaky. And then the day of, it was people wrap around the doors, and I was like, wow. And so like I say, whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. That's how I know it was meant for all of this to happen.
Right.
You know, so then I also did it in Tampa. I did it in Lake, what is this? Clearwater.
Okay.
I also did it in Cocoa as well.
Wow.
So this different areas, and now I'm doing Orlando, Florida, November
Right.
14. And this is my first time doing Orlando.
Okay.
And it's going to be at Edgewater High School
Okay.
auditorium. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that.
You should be. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that you kind of did the outskirts, and it's definitely now time to bring
it home.
in the center
Yes.
at home. And
Yes.
Orlando has such a huge audience
Yes.
here. I think they'll be blessed by it. I think they'll love it.
Yes.
So, what can the people expect? How much are the tickets? Where do you get them? I mean, what can the people expect?
Well, this time it's another level. So if you thought you seen church hurts before, you didn't see
Okay.
nothing.
All right.
You know, because it's going to another level.
Uh-huh.
I'm bringing in a gospel artist from Ricky Dillard. So she's the lead singer. Her name is Lillian Lloyd, and also I have Javis Mays, which is also a local gospel artist, and I got some little things that I switch around, so it's going to be powerful.
Oh, that means I have to go.
Yeah, you have to go.
I have to go. You
have to
switched
go.
around some things?
I did. I switched it around.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
The reason why I did is because a lot of people expecting, okay, you know what, this is the same thing. And that's what I like about plays. You can always change some stuff up. You can look at it. You know, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm like, you know what, it's time to bring it to the next level.
Okay.
And that's what I did in this time around.
So you also have your regular admission and you have VIP, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So I have my VIPs. They're $45, and I want to do something special, you know, for the fans. And so I'm gonna have gift bags, and so I'm gonna give an option where the VIPs can either get the T-shirt or they can get the DVD.
Right.
That's the one thing. Of course, I'm gonna have other things that's gonna be surprised. So
Right.
VIPs just got to get it, and then I also have other gift bags for additional 50 other people. The first come, first serve, and I will go ahead and they'll get the bag as well. And also, too, for those who want to buy the DVD or the T-shirt, they can get the bags.
Okay, so you actually put it out there before I could even announce it, but there's the
I'm so
DVD.
sorry.
But no, that's fine. Which has
Sorry.
been here the entire time. There's
Yes.
the DVD. Church Hurts is already on DVD. So where do they go to get it?
ChurchHurts.com. The
Churchhurts.com.
tickets as well. Everything is Church Hurts. That's what it is.com.
Okay.
ChurchHurts.com.
Excellent. So
Yes.
why should everybody, Donald, leave their houses
Yes.
on November 14th? Well, actually get their tickets in advance.
In
Why
advance
do they
right
have
now.
to?
Get it right now.
Exactly. Tell us why. Why do they have to do it?
You should get it because it's going to be a life changing. You know, you're going to go in there being inspired. Like she said, you're going to be crying. You're going to laugh. It's just, I mean, for those who are married, that have in a relationship, whatever,
Right.
single people as well. It's just a good time. You know, like I said, it's going to be good. It's not one of them shows where you're going to be bored or you're going to be like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Right.
You're going to love it from the beginning to the end.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
everybody can relate to Church Hurts.
Yes.
Everyone can relate
Yes,
to Church
everybody
Hurts.
can
So
relate
I think
to
there's
it.
a message, like you said, a message in this for every single person. I can't wait to go. I can't
Yes.
wait to be there. You have something on your lap
Oh
here.
yeah, you know what? This is yeah,
What
yeah,
is-
definitely. You know, people, this is the shirt.
This is the shirt.
This is
Very
the shirt.
nice.
You know, Church Hurts.
Okay.
So you guys can also purchase this online as well in the DVDs. For those that are not locally, I know some people may be asking me, "Oh, when are you coming to our city?" Right now, you know, we're pretty much doing as much as we can until we get to that level where, you know, promoters or investors. And eventually, we are going to be, you know, we're going to be on the road. You
On
know,
the road.
it's destined to
Right,
happen.
right.
You know, whenever the season does happen. You know, if you are home and you're in Detroit, wherever area, side of the state, you say, you know what, I want to know what this play is about, and go online, purchase it. ChurchHurts.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us today, Donald.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I'm just filled with excitement. I can't wait
Yes.
because, you know, going to a movie is one thing, but seeing it live, seeing the
Yes.
action live
Yes.
is absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
You're
I really
welcome,
appreciate
and
it.
we can't wait to see you on November 14th. Everyone that's been watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Donald gave you all the information on where you can go to get your tickets, DVD, t-shirt. Make sure you are there. This is the event for everyone in the gospel and outside of the gospel community. Thank you so much for tuning in, and take care.